So, what's up? Right now, we're watching the French National Championships, and we got Archaic Samsic rider. I can't remember his name. He's up the front, but I'm only doing this because of the commentary and the way it is. So, like, it's like I'm listening to the commentary, but they're not paying attention to the riders, as the riders are like, when the riders actually something actually happens. So, if you are watching the French Championships and you put on my audio, you get a much better view of what's going on. So now we got two riders off the front from the original five. So there were six riders. There was Mikhail Crispin. He's the only rider of African. Yeah, he's from Africa. I can't remember where he's from, but he was actually in the top six. And then your rider on the front from Archaic Samsic, he's a five-time national champion, and he took off. Yeah, I mean, he really, put the hammer down. And then coming to the end of lap two, they were all sitting on his wheel. No one wanted to come around because he's definitely the strongest one in the group. So now it's just him and another rider off. So as soon as they bring the name of the rider to the screen, then I'll give you the name of the rider. So, but now so now he's putting in another attack coming out of the corner. He's trying to get rid of the rider in second. And then the three riders that were chasing are now two riders. So the one rider is from Total Energies Pros Road Cycling Team. And the other rider is from, I can't quite make it out. But now the Archaic Samsa rider, he's definitely pulling off right. He's doing the thing again. He's looking around because he's doing all the work and he wants some help. But no one's coming around him to help him because they know he's the strongest rider and no one really wants to, give him a hand to get going. So they're coming through. So now you're going to see the time cap is Ventorni. He's in first place, and Dubois, he's in second place. And then there's 9 seconds to the second and third rider, which is Duby and Thomas. And and then at 14 seconds is Minot. And the gap is slowly but surely opening. And the other thing is the Venturi, he's the rider from Archaic Samset. They have the barriers which they can bunny hop, and mostly times when they're in Belgium, the barriers are usually at about, I don't know, like 30 centimeters, they say, but they have them at the maximum height. And so far, he's tried like twice. He's hasn't cleared the second barrier, so now he's putting in a big dig again. He's trying to get rid of the second place rider. I forgot his name already. So, but he wasn't able to get rid of him. But he just keeps attacking, and he's just basically on the front, so the other rider's just sitting in his wheel. So he just keeps trying to attack and get him off his wheel, and that's what you got to do. So now we have the Total Energy rider. They're about still at about 10 seconds. About 10 seconds so far. And then at the front, they might close the gap the way they ride it, so they're coming to the sandpit, and you can see the way it's coming through the sandpit. And what's strange about the sandpit is that they don't normally do it, but they rake the sandpit like smooth, like like a sand dropping pit, but they don't normally do that. So now the Total Energy rider has dropped he's been overtaken, and he's in third place. So it looks like the rider that was sitting on his wheel has attacked him, but we'll see if he gets away. So let's see, and he's just not making that second barrier. That's the third time he's done the barrier, and he's just not making it over the second barrier. It's just too high. So he like there's two barriers, and he hops the first one, and then the second one he isn't able to clear it. So they're showing a replay, and what happens? He just like I don't even. It looks so weird. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Like maybe there's a little rut in the middle or something where it's just throwing him off. But it's just really weird. So he's at the front, and I'm pretty sure if I'm the guy in second place, I'm going to see this, and I'm going to try and get him at those barriers before Venturi. Because if I get in front of the barriers before him, that means I could put pressure on him. I could go a little harder and attack and make him, burn some matches that he doesn't want to burn. So the gap looks like it's closing a little bit, because Venturi is like he's not wanting to do all the work, so he's easing off just a little bit. A pretty big crowd here in France. It's amazing, amazing crowd, definitely amazing crowd. So here we have, again, Venturi. He's on the front. He's putting in another dig. like going up to climb hard, trying to up the pace just a little bit. So that's the thing is like that's how you get rid of people, and that's how you like in little places like you put as much. You try not to make it look like you're attacking, but you definitely put the hammer down. So and it also looks like the guy from Total Energies is coming back, and it's only because Venturi doesn't want to do all the work, so he's sitting up, which is allowing guys in second and third place to come back. So Venturi drops a foot there. And what's going on now? So they're coming over these little fast dynos, little slicky fast dyno. It's pretty cold today as well. The conditions are cold. The ground is pretty hard packed. It's not super muddy, and which means that the riders are not going to have to go into the pits as much. They're just not going to have to pit as much. So now, like on one of the probably only tough sections of the whole race, and that even looked fairly easy the way they done it. So now he's running the steps. So the two riders are still up front. Venturi is still leading, and yeah, he's still leading over Doobie. And Doobie's just pretty much just riding his wheel. He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything at all. So and then in fourth and fifth place is sorry, it's Doobie and Munat. Sorry, I missed the name of the second place riders. So, but the archaic sensor rider, Venturi, he's just on the front. He's obviously the strongest rider, and all of the guys know this. So they're not coming around and they're not doing anything. They're not helping, and they're letting him do all of the work. So my guy, Amico Crispin, he was in sixth place. So we haven't seen him. They haven't like. Oh, here he is. He's still in. I guess he's in seventh place now, but he's got a rider with him, and they, I guess, sort of take teaming and riding together, which is pretty cool. So Miss Crispin is the only like rider of African descent in the race. He does all the elite races, which is pretty cool. So we're coming to this little section where it's a quick up and down, and he make a left turn, and now they come into a little bit of road bit, and they take it's a bit of a climb. So and then about 9 seconds behind is the third and fourth place rider, and everyone's standing up on that climb. So as they make that left turn, so as soon as they go back to the leaders, so the leaders are coming back through the start finish, and Venturi is just sitting on the front, and he's just come off the gas. He's just basically come off the gas, and now he's looking down and realizing that I can't relax too much, so he's just got to keep the tempo going. And by the looks of it, if they keep going at this rate, then riders in third. So it's two riders up front. Then you got two riders in second and third, in third and fourth, and then you got a fifth rider, and they're all about the same distance apart. All about the same distance apart. And yeah, so they go up through, like climb up through the start finish, and then they come into like a really fast. So they make in a hairpin turn, and then Venturi's made a big attack, and he's trying to put the pressure on because the guys are started to get close in third and fourth. But Venturi's put in a big attack, and I believe it's Doobie. He's just sitting on his wheel. He's just not doing anything. So if Venturi loses this race, it's because he basically doing everything. So now they're in another uphill section. They're climbing uphill, and Venturi's on the front, and you got Doobie just sitting on his wheel. He's not doing anything. And he's got to try to figure out how do I get rid of this guy. So Venturi and Doobie are the front two, and then in second and 1 and 2, and then in third and fourth, if you got is Dubu is the second, sorry, and then Doobie is the third, and Thomas is in fourth, and then he's 10 seconds behind, and then at 22 seconds is Munut. It's coming through. Yeah, so now they're running the steps. It looks like it's about 20 big steps, wide gaps, maybe about a wheel length apart. And then the downhill after the steps it's pretty rutted. It's rutted. It's really heavy. So and Venturi's putting in another big dig. And Dubu is a Dabu. Dabu is just like sitting his wheel. Dabu is he's just riding pretty smart. The Venturi, I find it strange. Like if I was You know, even if I was the strongest, I would still like, bro, come around, come around. But he's not doing that. He's not asking him to come around. He's just there. So it looks like he's putting another dig on this little up end, but Dabu is still there. So now they're coming to the sandpit. Is he putting in an attack in the sandpit? Like he's going to the sandpit really hard, but Duba is sitting there. It's just sitting. This is not, it's not doing anything. Not doing anything at all. So is this going to be the whole race? I'm just wondering, saying to myself, when is, okay, coming to the, ooh, he finally did it. He finally, like after 4 tries, he's finally jumped the barriers cleanly. So that's pretty good to see that he finally got a clean jump on the barrier. So that maybe something to, you know, get him going or keep him going or, inspire him to probably put the hammer down somewhere and really, really attack. And he's really worked hard to distance most of the guys, but it's just one rider that he can't get rid of. So, and you may be able to slightly hear in the background the commentators, but it's weird how they commentate, but then they go away from what was going on. So, Venturi, he sees he's getting a little bit of a gap. He puts in, like, when they made that corner, he put in a little bit more pace, and it looks like his guy in second place is he's just like got about maybe 3-4 bike lengths on him. And let's see if he can turn those bike lengths into something. So now we see the gap is actually starting to open, which is, I guess, is the reason why uh, Dabu didn't come around, because he just didn't have it to come around. And this is what Ventini is like. He's putting in another hard uphill. That's why he's been working hard to try to get this gap and get this space, because it's much easier to win on your own. You don't want to sprint to a finish after a race like this. So now the gap is like about 6 bike lengths now. So opening just a little bit. Venturi is definitely, when you get that feeling, like when you're trying and trying and trying and you can't get rid of that guy, and you feel like, oh man, I must have give up, and then you just give that one more try, and then all of a sudden you just get the gap. So what's going to happen? Is he going to be able to ride away from him? Is he going to stay close? It looks like he's back up on his wheel again. Oh, when he met one error, so he's right back in it. His foot come out, and then the guy he's in second place has actually come around to the front for the first time. That's crazy. It looked like he was actually falling off, and it looks like he was just bluffing. So he's at the front. So that's good. That's good. So that's going to keep the pace of the race going, and it's good to see. And I'm pretty sure Venturi, like, he was like, okay, at last, we're racing. So then it's going back to the replay and showing the Venturi. He's like, he picks a not so good line. Foot comes out, and when his foot comes out, he loses his momentum. And Dabu was able to come around. So Venturi is now in second place for the first time in the race, riding in second wheel, with Dabu riding first wheel. And then you got the two riders in third and fourth trying to, looks like Fabian and Trio trying to close that gap. So your two riders riding for the bronze medal at the minute with on lap 5 of 9 laps. And now all of the road sections basically go uphill. So I guess it's a good balance, because they got quite a bit of road in sections. So they make this right turn, and there's a left, and then when you make the right turn, you go up a steep little bank and come down the bank, and then you take another left, and then you start climbing again on a slight bit of road, and then head up towards, I believe it's going to be heading up towards the start finish. So let's see what happens. So Venturi is back on the front. I would not came back on the front just yet. Because you're riding on the road, you really don't get no advantage. But I guess Venturi doesn't want the other two riders to come back, so he wants to keep that gap. So Dabu is sitting on his wheel again. It looks like that gap is actually getting bigger back to the third and fourth place rider. So let's see. I'm pretty sure that Venturi's gonna like take this corner, then come up really hard, stand up and really crank it. Let's see if he does. Yeah, it's not necessarily attacking. Just right now, just keeping the tempo going, keeping the pace high. That gap is definitely getting bigger from the front two riders to the second to chasing two riders. Definitely getting bigger. So I'm sorry I can't show you the footage because I don't want to get the video taken down or blocked or anything like that. So you know you can't. It would be cool like to be able to show you what's going on and to be able to talk to the race. But it is what it is. I'm not there yet. We working on that. So what is the gap? So we're at 6:10. Last time it was 10 seconds to the second. Like this time we're coming around. It eked out a few more seconds. Now we're up to what? 16 seconds. Yeah, we're now 17 seconds to second and from the lead rider. So they put 7 seconds in them on this lap. And Venturi is back on the front once again, and they're running the steps, really big wide steps, and then at the top of the steps, and then there's a quick descent, and they go down, and then they take a quick sharp left. And it's really quick, but it's really ruddy as well. So your fifth place rider is Munat. So it looks like Venturi is putting in another attack. So yeah, it's putting in another attack. So let me turn this down because I don't want to get any copy strikes because of audio and stuff. So, but here we go once again. Venturi. So 32, we got six. We just did 6 laps. So it's like it looks like 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go. I know I may go back and do the race and with the pictures and stuff. I probably could have been doing pictures the whole time. So nowadays, like go through the sandpits one more time. So this is the first time doing this. I didn't even think of that. I could have been just like clicking pictures the whole time while I'm talking. So it looks like Venturi is trying hard to get rid of Dabu, but he's not. So Fabian and Theo are locked together in third and fourth place. So and Venturi doesn't, he doesn't look clean jumping the barriers. And then second place rider is able to come around now. So these two at the front, they definitely doing the thing. But the thing is, the crazy thing, the third and fourth players, Fabian is not jumping the barriers. Like I said, I wish I could show you like what's going on, but hey, so. But okay, sorry, stop. But I might have to just clip this, or should I stop it now? It's 3 more laps to go. I want to get up and get some toast, but I can't. I can't do the audio or anything. I don't want to get any copyright strikes. So hopefully this is all good. This is fine, but but no pictures or anything. I can do pictures if I wanted to. I can do pictures. So this is just like doing commentary. I'm just like listening to the radio back in the day when you're young and you listen to the radio. So that's what that used to be pretty cool. You describe what's going on. So they take that uphill and then they take the left and they get on this sort of off camber straight away. And what makes it difficult because you can easily like lose a wheel because of the way that the bank goes downwards. So Venturi's come off the front, and then Dabu is leading the way with Dubé and Thomas still chasing in third and fourth. And the thing is, like, Total Energy's rider. So right here is where I think Dubé realized he had a bit of advantage. So he's actually taking advantage of that a little bit. So he's putting a little bit of attack on that because he knew that Venturi had some trouble, but Venturi just basically ran him down on the stairs because they had some stairs. and he's like right back there. He did get a bit of an advantage on that bit of section because it looks like Venturi is having some trouble on that muddy section just before the stairs. So it looks like Dubé literally used everything he had to try and see if you could get a gap between him and Venturi. So we're gonna see if Venturi is gonna be smart and let him ride. So he wants to do that, let him ride. So here we go. It's back to riders in third and fourth place. Theo and I can't remember the other night. So, but the only thing for me is my guy Crispin. He was actually there. I thought he was gonna be up, in the runnings, but I guess he just doesn't have that type of fitness yet. And I was really rooting for him to be there and do that thing. So Dubé was at the front, so they're looking, but he was, but now at the front is Venturni, who's been at the front for most of the race. He's back at the front. So who do you think's gonna win if you know anything about cyclocross? Who do you think is gonna win? Do you think Venturni or Dubé? It's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna. I wonder if I know I can't pause this, but I'll check back in at the end of the race and give my race recap. So I believe they're climbing uphill to the start finish. Not quite. So they're climbing uphill, quite big uphill. So we'll go forward one more time. Then there's a quick turn. And then they're on the straightaway. On the start finish. So anyway, that's cool, people. I'll get back to you at the end of the race.